Hello, I'm Fernando. You're watching a series of videos where I'm researching, designing and building the vehicle assembly building in Minecraft. Last video, we built out the transfer aisles, the transoms and the low bay buildings. This video, we'll have a look at the upper parts of the transoms and the steeling in the high bay areas. Here I've recreated the flags. I've used banners and some artwork to roughly approximate some of the shapes and detailing on them. Another thing I've done is made this 2-block American flag, which I think looks really great from a distance. Over here I've also tried to incorporate some of the holes that you can see in Street View and just tried to put them where they are. These are the flags I was just talking about, and these are the holes I was just talking about. Working my way down, and there's so much to talk about here, but you can see I'm starting to put some of the iron bars in to represent the fencing, some of the catwalks across between the towers, the doors here, there's various grills, there's various lights and windows. Here you can see them in Google Street View. We can see a little bit of storage right tucked up at the back, what the back door looks like, and we can see a bit of a sneak pathway through behind some of these pillars with some big doors that roll up and down here. Here you can see the yellow framing structure, that yellow storage container, as well as these recessed areas with the roller doors, and there's a bit that you can just squeeze through behind. At some point, I've discovered that Street View can actually go inside some of these high bays. So if we go into high bay 2, we can look up and we can see some of this framing here. So on this side, you can see there is this insert, and they make these inserts depending on the rocket that they're trying to assemble. And on this side, you can see that they haven't got an insert in it. I can see the framing, so there's a couple of segments there and a couple of segments here, and then this appears to be a 3 segment. So let's have a bit of a look in Minecraft and I'll show you how I built that. In High Bay 2, we can come through here and we can see this framing. We can see 2 segments here, 2 segments here, and the 3 segment there. Back in Street View, we can get some good glimpses of what some of these rooms are behind. So there appears to be rooms with dark brown doors in here, and there are rooms on both sides of it. They look quite symmetrical, and I think if you were to build ultimately a big symmetrical building with 4 different high bays and lots of different floors, you would likely use the same floor layout on each floor unless you had a good reason not to. I've started to build this out in Minecraft. I've decided to use dark oak doors, and I have chosen to try and match the external size of the walls. Minecraft only gives me these blocks, which are 1 meter by 1 meter, which means this whole space takes up 2 meters for a wall and a strut, so I can't get inside that. It does mean that this door's a little strange because you couldn't really fit anything in here, but I have chosen to optimize for the external size of the rooms. But this is starting to feel a bit squished still, and so I'm quite concerned that something might be off on this building. A pretty exciting discovery I made in Google Street View is you can actually get up onto the catwalk above High Bay 1. From up here, we get a whole new vantage point, and we get a really good look at the other side of the transoms across the transfer aisle. We can start to see the various structures. We can see there are these bridges that go across every 4 or 5 floors up here. We get some sneak peeks down at the top of the low bay buildings where we were building last video. And we can also have a good explore around up here. So here One of the things I was looking at a lot was over here, these look a lot like ladders. What I've worked out that they are is actually cable trays, and they just help lay all of the cabling for all of the communication and electronics that go through the building. And we can get a really close-up view here, as well as some sneak peeks through to the elevators. One thing that stood out to me in this area is we're on a big concrete platform. It looks like it may even be a combination of storage and rest area with a chair there. But also there are spotlights the whole way up the tower. We also see this shape of these internal floors, which is starting to look familiar. So they were very similar to what was down the bottom. And I think that's a really good clue that this entire building is made up of a set of patterns that are reused, which bodes well for us. So let me show you what I've done in Minecraft. So here I've filled in the platform with stone. I started to build out the shape of these doors and put some lights leading up the towers as well. Here you can see the bridges across the tower, and I've chosen to put them, just repeat them up every 6 or 7 floors. And on them, I've used the same repeating pattern, so they're all identical, but essentially I've put a line of end rods for light levels and mob protection, and then some lightning rods just for a bit of color visual difference, just so this is a little bit more interesting to look at. Okay, so that's a lot of stuff covered in this video. Next video, we'll see if we can work out what's in some of these rooms in the Transoms. Any feedback, ideas, or encouragement you have, just let me know, and have a great day.